Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Bibliomancy for Beginners, our spin-off series, Nostalgia Junkie, wherein we have been reading the Pendragon series, one book every week. I'm going to let all of my lovely co-hosts introduce themselves, starting with Gretchen.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gretchen. I'm from the blog My Life is a Notebook, and I feel like I had a really strong and abrasive introduction during yesterday's Angel Fall video, which I did twice in a row, and I'm struggling to come up with anything vaguely as interesting. So I'm just going to say that you should check out the new feature on my blog. Another post will be up tomorrow. Worth It Wednesdays, YA books you should read one every week.
Casey.
Hey, I'm Casey. I hang out at thedrunklibrarian.wordpress.com. I rant about books, currently running through The Fault in Our Stars chapter by chapter, and we're almost done! And I did not make it to the Angel Fall video because I had the plague. I kind of still do. So if I keel over and die in the middle of this, it's not because the book is bad. Also, shout-outs to anyone who gets the Animorphs reference in my lower third.
Shout out to those guys.
All, like, none of them.
I read Animorphs. I don't remember that much.
I did too!
Yeah. Anyway, hi, Michaela. I'm from the blog The Pied Piper Calls. I talk about comics and books and K-pop mostly. This week I'm participating in the Booktubeathon, and I've currently read one book, all of, that doesn't have a page number, 17 pages in the second book, so I'm doing good, clearly. Not doing good. That's what that's saying. It's okay. I'll have, like, all of the rest of the week to read. I've been doing stuff earlier in this week, so problems. This episode, we are talking about the fourth book in the Pendragon series. That would be The Reality Bug, for those of you who need to know the specific title of this book. I'm not going to read the Goodreads page because my computer's been acting up, so I'm going to read the back of the book. We're going old school. If you haven't read this, then you can know what this book is about. Virtual reality? ? The territory of Velox has achieved perfect harmony. 15-year-old Bobby Pendragon arrives on this territory in pursuit of the evil Saint Dane, but all is peaceful on Velox because it's deserted. The inhabitants have discovered a way to enter their own personal dream worlds where they can be whomever they want, wherever they want. Their bodies lie in stasis while their minds escape to this dream realm. Fresh from his battle with Saint Dane on 1937 Earth, Bobby is confident that he can defeat whatever Saint Dane has planned for this world. But once Bobby enters the virtual world, will he be able to resist the lure of the ultimate in escapism? Sorry, that was two ins in a row, and that was like... Okay, we're going to give spoiler-free reviews before we get into the book club portion of this. So if you haven't read it and would like to hear whether we think it's worth it or not, obviously it's worth it. But just so that you can know...
Also, we swear.
Yeah, also we swear.
Sorry, I knew mine was going to just start with swearing probably, so.
Also we swear. Gretchen, do you want to give your spoiler-free review first?
Yes. I will prep everyone watching this video for the fact that when we, at the end of the last video for the Nevermore, we were like, Michaela and I, because we read them as kids, and Casey read some of them but doesn't really remember. But Michaela and I were like, oh my god, we hated this one. And Michaela was like, well, wouldn't it be funny if we loved the Nevermore as kids but hated it as adults, and wouldn't it be funny if we loved the Reality Bug as adults but hated it as kids? That was not necessarily my reality, pun intended. I did definitely enjoy it more than I thought I would, because I do remember not liking this book as I was a kid. But I can't get past the character of Aja, who I hate so much, and every time she speaks, I want to punch a wall, and I did enjoy it more, but and there's a lot of, like, science And I don't know if I'm resisting it because I'm not a sci-fi reader, and when I walked into this book series, I expected fantasy more than I expected sci-fi, and this was like, made up technical jabber and jibber jab. And I was like, between that and nausea, I was just like skimming. I was like, I'm just flipping pages. Give me, blow something up. Blow it up. So I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, but... Ugh.
Casey, what did you think?
Fuck Gretchen. That's why we had the warning. I love this one. This is my favorite so far. I had no expectations going in because you guys terrified me, but I thought it was fun. I enjoyed. I say I'm the world's greatest sucker and that I never see twists coming, so maybe it's not saying a lot to say. For the most part, unlike with book 3, like, I actually did not predict what was going to happen. Pretty much ever. I called her Aja, whatever, the chick. I liked Aja. I thought she was an interesting character. I mean, she filled a trope, but it was a trope that was good to have. I don't know. I thought it was really good, and I did not expect it to be my favorite of the ones we've read so far, but it was.
I have to say that, unlike with Gretchen, where she felt that it didn't change that much from when she was a kid, it's better than from when she was a kid, but she still disliked it. I really liked this one, like, a lot.
Yes, and I'm not the one with the unpopular opinion. Sorry. I usually am.
Yeah, it's not the best one in the series, and I know that. But I also feel like I liked it a lot more as an adult than I did as a child. I feel like there are specific reasons why I think that Tiny Michaela did not like this book. And part of it is, like Gretchen said, it's a science fiction book, less a fantasy book. Like, the series has, like, some science fiction-y elements in it, like multiple universe theories, but this is so sci-fi. Like, firmly set in science fiction. Like, the fantasy went to take a step to the side for a second for this book, and it comes back in the next book, but very science fiction-y, this one, which child Michaela did not like, but adult Michaela does kind of like, depending on it. I prefer this to Aliens. Like, I'll take
fair.
that to Aliens, right? Virtual reality is slightly more interesting than just pew pew aliens. So 2 thumbs up and yeah. So is that where you're at with this one, Gretchen?
That's where I'm at. Yep.
Okay. If you haven't read the book and you don't want to be spoiled, now would be a good time to go away and come back once you've read it. Because we're going to start talking about the events and characters of the novel specifically, and it might spoil you, and if that's going to bother you, I'm warning you now. You've been warned. We've already warned about swearing, so don't worry. There's still going to be swearing, probably. If you would like to catch up and know, obviously next week we're going to be reading the 5th book, because like I said, every week we're reading a new one. But we also have the main book club, and we have social media that tells you what books we're reading and when we plan on discussing them. That includes Twitter, Vine, Instagram, and a Goodreads group that has the updated books that we're reading currently. And if you want to discuss on any of those, you can use the hashtag Bibliomancy begins, or just in the comment section and everything else. We always start with our favorite part, starting on a good note. Gretchen, do you have a favorite part?
I do, actually, because this was the bit, and I know we talked the last time about Courtney and the fact that, Jesus Christ, she's a brat. And honestly, because I think part of my problem with this book, both as Tiny Gretchen and Big Gretchen, is the fact that I really don't like sci-fi. I really love sci-fi movies and sci-fi shows, but when I have to read about it, it gets so technical for me that I'm just like, I'm bored. I'm bored. And so, honestly, because I was telling Michaela before this started, I used to totally ignore Courtney and Mark, and I was like, Bobby, this is where all the action is. But for this book in particular, my favorite part was Courtney getting knocked down a few pegs. and like realizing, oh my god, I'm not the hot stuff that I think that I am. Because we were saying that we couldn't remember exactly what her like defining character change was, and this is it in a most of it is right in this book, and I don't know, I really appreciated that. I think even more than I did when I was a kid as an adult, and being like, oh my god, like the perfect people aren't perfect.
Yeah.
And I don't know, in a lot of kids' books, like when you set up the girl athlete or the girl something who can do anything, or really like the kid genius something who does something well, they always do it well. And I was like, oh, she fails really spectacularly. And I was like, this is, I don't know, I was just like so grateful for that part of the book.
A little Schadenfreude.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think it also says something really important to kids too, that maybe I didn't entirely comprehend, but I still like saw as a kid, that like you can be really good at something, fail, but then realize that you're actually supposed to be doing something else, like the whole acolyte thing. I was like,
yeah.
Oh. So yeah, I was a much happier camper with Courtney in this book.
Yeah. Casey, do you have a favorite part?
Gee, I don't know. First off, yes, I included a puppy, because every video is better when you have a puppy. It seems weird to say, like, I enjoyed it so much I don't no, okay. I think basically every time they were in the jumps, I enjoyed it, because especially once the reality, well, no, really, only when the reality bug hit, because basically you knew everything was going to go batshit, and that was so much fun. Like, at first, I thought the Wild West, I was like, oh, this is stupid. And then you're like, but it's not real. And then, and then I love dreams within a dream, so the fact that, I don't know, I guess the fact that logic was suspended allowed for a lot of really, really fascinating and fun events and worlds, and fighting the reality bug was just a great climax. I don't know. I just, yeah, sometimes I like when, I don't know, it was nice to see Michaela be set free from all his rules, and he could just go nuts. And I enjoyed that.
I agree. I would like to say the fact that they lost is my favorite part. That they did not successfully save this territory, and they should have seen that coming based on every single thing that has happened to the last 3 territories, on what Bobby thought was the problem and what the actual problem was. You should have known that the problem was that nobody was doing anything on this planet. And they, like, start to realize that right at the end, when then suddenly it's like, nope, everybody get back in their jumps. It was like, I feel like this is what I'm talking about. Tiny Michaela would have hated that. Would have been like, no, but they did the thing. Why is it? No. Big Michaela says, yes. Bobby, you don't know everything. You don't. And the people who were supposed to be saving it just fucked up, and St. Dane was just there like,
See,
you didn't see my plan.
Like a little love-hate contention for me, though. Because I was like, because it was just like, I don't know, I saw that coming from a mile away from the first, and I don't know, maybe it's because, like, the alternate reality trope for me is so, like, done. Because I was just like, well, duh, like, no one's going to want to come back out to this planet, Bobby. Like, of course this is what's going to happen. So,
yep.
And I mean, honestly, I had, like, this one, I'm going to be honest, like, most of the middle 3 books I have completely forgotten. Like, I was trying to think of what happens, and I couldn't even remember the name of the territory. Like, he said Elong. I was like, fuck.
Cat people.
I didn't remember that. So, like, I went into this, like, knowing vaguely what happened, but not remembering what happened in the end. And I knew that they lost, which I love. I love that they finally lost, because it takes them 3 books to lose, and it's just like, it's gotta happen at some point, or what's the point here?
Yep.
But I was just like, Bobby. And I love it. So
You should have known.
I love it and I hate it.
See,
I feel like... No, go ahead, Casey. You go ahead.
Like I said, sucker. I actually didn't see it coming simply because I'm not that bright, I guess. And mostly I thought that Lifelike could not be brought back up. I thought they'd killed it for dead, which they didn't. But I was just going to say, I totally agree about the failure. It kind of fits in with both of Gretchen's favorite and what I suspect will be her least favorite elements. Like, it just seems like throughout this book there's a theme of people who think they have it all together, and they don't. Courtney sucks. I mean, that's just my opinion, but also in the book, Courtney sucks. Aja's not as smart as she thinks she is. Bobby is kind of used to winning. I don't know. I really like that. So I was just saying. Thematic unity.
Yeah. So that was my favorite part. The fact that they lost was important. And I feel like that was like St. Dane was really smart in instigating this, because he did a really good job of making everybody think that they knew what the problem was when the problem wasn't that. Like, he was like, you don't want whatever this giant monster is to break into reality, do you? No, you don't. No, you don't.
Maybe it would have been.
It was just this... I don't know if the thing breaking into reality would have been good, but just letting the bug break Lifelike would have been.
Yeah.
So, like, the fact that they tried... it's
their own mouths there.
It's Aja's fault because she's the one that triggered that, right? She said, I went in and cleaned it, I purged it of the bug. And then the bug had, like, a fail-safe that if that happened, it became corporeal, I guess. Like, if somebody tried to do that, it got stronger and triggered something else. So the fact that she tried to save this, which is exactly what St. Dane wanted, he then triggers a distraction, which then causes people to create fail-safes for it to ensure that it will live on afterwards. Like, too much good plotting, too good evil. Good job being evil.
It's kind of nice because like, Bobby spends, like, the whole book being like, okay, Gretchen, how do you say it? Aja?
I always said Aja.
I'll say Aja, because that sounds better.
You could say Killian. Her last name's Killian. That's easier to pronounce if you want. Killian.
I probably can't say that either. No, Bobby spends the whole time being like, Aja, you can't overestimate St. Dane. Just when you think you know what's going on, you don't. And he needs to learn that lesson. Like, he knows it better than she does. And Lord knows he knows it better than Spader does. But, like, I don't know. I liked, it was kind of awkward because, like, this was the book where he's like, I'm stepping up and being the leader and still just screw up all the time and forever.
Yep.
Poor Bobby.
It's good. Poor Bobby.
Dumbledore is dead.
Dumbledore died real early.
Thank God.
No. Least favorite parts? / rants? Gretchen?
I have a couple.
Okay.
And they're not like rants so much as just me sitting there going and being like, eh? But my first one, and Michaela Freeze, love us. The first one being, we've already touched on it, the reality bug becoming corporeal and like breaking through the floor of the jump to get into reality. I was just like, this is a fucking episode of Digimon. I watched this one.
Digimon is awesome. What's the problem?
I love Digimon, but I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Like,
sense is for losers, Gretchen.
How does
Census
it
for
work?
losers.
And also, okay, so that was my first thing. I was just like, that lost. I don't know. When I start to read science fiction, I get into like a really snobby skeptic, like if you can't show me like the fucking formula, I'm done with you kind of thing. And I was just like, this does not make any sense. You don't try and make this make sense. You just say that it's happening, and then like you're flying around trying to kill the dumb thing. And I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't understand. And then also too, I really hate that Saint Dane and his planning is not explained more. Cause like how did he like come up with this great big plan? And like, cause every single plan that he has is very involved. Everything that he's done has so much groundwork, and I love it. He's a great mastermind villain, except for like, how did you set this up
for anyone else?
Wait, no, love me, I'm right here.
Are you? Yeah, you're fine. You should be okay. I think Casey's having issues because now Casey froze.
Yeah, I think that's Casey. Bye-bye, Casey.
Huh?
I don't know.
Welcome back.
I'm back.
Okay.
Oh, hello.
I got that Saint Dane does a lot of planning and
Oh,
then everyone
there's just
froze.
a lot of groundwork, and there's like, how?
Here's my Saint Dane theory, and it's sort of based on more that we learned later, but it's also, you could just pull this together, is that Saint Dane doesn't start anything. Saint Dane is just there to take what people are already doing and like sort of nudge them in the direction of chaos. So these people had already created what they thought was going to be a utopia, this virtual reality, and he saw what could be death for this territory and just sort of pushed them in that direction. He doesn't necessarily have to do everything. He just has to prevent the travelers from correcting it, right?
I guess for me, I'm just frustrated because like even with Dr. Zetlin, we get him for maybe like a quarter of the book, but we know that he was a child, like kind of abused by the town, like the country's or the whatever's system. He didn't have a childhood, so he creates Lifelight and then stays in this childhood that he never had. And that, it's not a lot of characterization, but it's a lot of characterization for someone who we don't really spend a lot of time with, and don't really, like, there's no backstory dumping. And I'm just like, Saint Dane is fucking shit up for 10 books. How is he never much more than, I don't know. It bugs me a lot more than it definitely did when I read these the first time, that Saint Dane is this all-powerful evil mastermind kind of figure. That
he is a god. He is an evil god.
Like, what else is he gonna be doing? I don't think Saint Dane gets laid. Got the time.
I don't know. I'm probably gonna bring this up like every single hangout because it's bothering me so much more than I thought it would or ever remember it doing.
No, and that's legit.
I had another rant, but I don't remember it, so maybe I'll just like start screaming.
Aja.
Oh yeah, Aja's just annoying. That's not a rant. It's just Aja's like so fucking annoying. And Bobby is so annoying for being like, I feel like he's talking to me like I'm dumb. And I'm like, listen, just because most of the territories where you go to are like third world countries compared to Second Earth, doesn't mean that they're all gonna look like that. You don't always get to be the white man swooping in to save the indigenous population. Sometimes you are gonna be the dumb dude. But I swear, just like that whole, like every time they talk to each other, except for like the last quarter of the book, I just want to punch them both in the face.
Knock their heads together.
Chloral was more advanced than we are. Chloral could make plants out of water. We can't do that. We should get that technology now.
But the way that Bobby treats Spader, because of like the way that he is, Bobby always treats him as inferior, even though the place is not. And
to be fair, I don't think Spader's all that bright.
I mean,
never got
the
feeling that he's like a genius.
But like, I get sick and tired of Bobby like And I mean, I guess that's kind of what this point is. The book is like, you know, you're not as smart as you think you are, but like their whole dynamic throughout the whole book is just annoying to read.
That's fair.
It's just annoying to read.
Understandable. Casey, was there anything that bugged you?
Huh.
No. There was nothing.
Really,
She loved it.
no. Especially, I finished this on Sunday. I feel like everything that was, if there was anything that annoyed me, I've totally forgotten it and how annoyed I am at the next book. I guess I kind of am sort of the opposite of Gretchen. Sorry, brain fart. In that I really hated the parts with Mark and Courtney this time. Like, I appreciate what Michaela was doing with Courtney, and I think it was great thematically and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, oh no, you suck at soccer. Look how few shits I give. Like, I don't care. Like, entire civilizations are being destroyed, and you can really die, and insane crap is going on, and Courtney is crying about sucking at soccer, and I just... Words cannot express how little I cared about Courtney's plight and how little I sympathized with her.
I really like, though, that Mark said that at one point. At one point, Mark was just like...
Oh, God.
Didn't he say that? Or, like, he insinuated... Or at least I got that he insinuated that at one point. I think it's when they're talking about being
but I'm not sure Courtney's
acolytes.
smart enough to have picked up on it.
I don't really think she is either, but, like, I think
I also feel like Mark himself, Mark who gets bullied constantly, Mark who wanted to go to this new school and get a fresh start and immediately got just like, that dream just died that first day. He does not give a shit about Courtney being bad at soccer. He's like, look at me! Are you kidding me right now? Look at Bobby! What are you doing?
I thought it was ridiculous that, like, the entire school showed up to watch Courtney suck at soccer. I'm sorry. Maybe that's in the same universe where this guy, actually he's looking less ugly in the covers, but whatever, is the most popular kid ever. Like, no one cares that much about soccer.
Yeah, no.
Especially, this isn't England. It's soccer. No one cares. Not like she was playing football.
Yeah.
And I just alienated everyone who is an American. If anyone who is an American watches this, awkward.
Oh, goodness. Should I get into the thing that bugged me?
Yes.
This isn't necessarily... It's not necessarily just this book, but science fiction books in general. Person who does not understand science gets told a word by person who does understand science, and when they say, what is that? And that person goes, psh, hate that, because we as the reader are in that same spot, and then on top of that, Bobby, who's writing to his friends who won't understand these terms, doesn't go, when he said this, he meant this. He strings along the like, gross anticipation as well. Like, you have the power. You found out what they are. You could go, we're going to go see the flume. A flume, by the way, is a tunnel where you can travel between places. I have that ability with afterthought to tell you what that is because I know. I know you don't know, so I'm sharing with you, rather than just stringing you along while you wait and have all of these words that mean nothing to you thrown at you.
We've had that complaint about Bobby before, though, I feel like, that he's too writerly in his journals. Also, especially, isn't he supposedly just chatting at them? Like, we can't have a conversation about these books without getting horribly off topic. Like, how are there no digressions except for awkwardly describing how attractive everyone was? That was weird. But still. Like, it does not read like someone's talking. And that's a big pet peeve of mine. Like, I like colloquialisms. I like stream of consciousness. I want it to feel real. And
it became super obvious in this one with all the technical stuff going on that was like kind of being pushed and shoved around. But then the fact that we're told that he is making a hologram of himself talking, and I understand that you aren't going to put ums and likes in sentences, and so I will maybe forgive you on some of the other ones where maybe he could scratch out words that we don't see and, like, you know, write it out. I was like, nope, you're talking. This is... Although, on the topic of people being attractive for a hot sec, I would like to bring up...
A hot sec.
A hot sec, yeah, sounds like a hot sec. Michaela made it earlier, and I've been thinking about it. She was talking about how Bobby can never have, like... Well, we were saying that Bobby can never really have more than one companion, and they really don't last long. It's like, tag, you're it, and then they leave.
Yeah, God, it's like the Doctor.
Like, it's just like lore ex machina at the end. Like, have a fight, bring in lore. But then she'll leave because she can't be my companion yet because we haven't had her booked yet. And it's just like...
And even those who have had their books, he just kind of, like, puts them other places. Although Gunny went off...
Where the hell is Gunny? I
Gunny.
need Gunny back.
Gunny immediately was like, I'm going to go somewhere else, Bobby. You got this. Why would you? You know he doesn't got this. You just literally ended the last book. You know he does not have this.
I'm also a little confused about that, because Gunny was like, I have to go now to see what St. Dane's up to. But the Flumes, they say over and over again, you'll arrive when you need to arrive.
Yeah.
So couldn't they do Velox, then go to Elong? And also, even when they do split up, if Bobby goes to Elong, couldn't he just show up like a second after Gunny got there and be like, hey!
In theory, but that's not how it works.
Time work.
So, here's my thing. I feel like time continues for all of them, but at different paces, right?
Okay.
It's
So,
like Narnia.
Yeah, so, like, time's still moving everywhere. He can't show up right then. He needs however long it is between Velox time and Elong time. For that amount of time is the time that he shows up.
Okay.
So, like, maybe Elong is much closer to their sun, and their days are wicked fast, or something. So, like, he shows up 2 years later. We don't know, but it's sort of like that. Like, all of these things are reaching a turning point, and it's near the turning point, but they're also all still moving.
It would be slightly hilarious if he showed up after something already was destroyed. He just, like, goes there, and it's a wasteland. He goes, oh, well... I should have spent less time staring at Laura's boobs.
Oh, no. And then he just starts crying because Gunny. By the way, I really wanted it to be a head in that bag. Like, I really just wanted it to be a head, and it wasn't, and then I was slightly sad.
You guys might laugh at me because you know what happens later. At this point, I don't expect Michaela to go that dark. You might be laughing because, like, in the last books might just be a parade of bodies, but I don't know. I don't see him going that far. Like, there's a line that he won't cross. I think
Press
I'm gone.
dead.
It's
Oscar
true.
died.
Well, they died, but they had very Disney deaths. Like, they got to have their final speech, and it was at the right moment. And it was beautiful. Like, just head in a bag is not something you'll see in Disney ever.
I mean, that's fair.
That would be a great Disney movie, though.
I wanted to sing. I wanted like this movie to open up with a head in the bag, and then I wanted to sing about how it died.
You were too late!
There is no happy ending. Also, Michaela's the one that froze, so I'm kind of just stalling for time because I wanted to be involved in this conversation.
I think she's gone. That's unfortunate. Hey, viewers.
Okay, because I was going to say,
like
though,
one of
because,
you.
Because we've forgotten that there is a traveler whose book has already gone by who could be helping them but isn't. Like, where did Alder go? Like...
Oh my gosh, what is Alder doing? I guess he's keeping the peace.
I guess, but, like, I mean...
That's what I'd assume.
Bader and Gunny got to leave their territories after they kind of disappeared.
Nope.
But
Don't question it.
Like, I have to question it.
Why Alder didn't get to leave?
Yes.
Yeah.
He comes in the 6th book. He shows up on a different territory.
I know
What
he
the hell
does.
is Patrick doing? He's
Well,
a
I mean-
librarian. Like,
Patrick! I mean, don't diss Patrick! He's living his life, the poor man.
he could have been so useful. He's all used to this weird techno crap. Like,
I don't know how you...
super helpful. Patrick Ex Machina.
Patrick is very anxious.
He
I
would
don't
literally be in the machine. Anyway.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm willing
That
to
was a
hold
nerdy
off
joke,
on
kids.
all of these other travelers who like haven't had their turning points happen yet, because I understand like their entire mission is to find that turning point and see where it is, and so that when Bobby gets there, we can just be like, "Hello, let's fix the thing." But like Alder, why was he never even considered as a companion? Like he just
I think because Alder, it had to do with where they were going, because that was when Press was still there. They were going to Chloral, and
Yeah,
Press said that Alder didn't need to come. It's always Bobby who says somebody else needs to come with him. So because Press was like, Alder, you stay here and do whatever you got to do to help these guys. I got it. Me and Bobby are going someplace. Like, it was after Press died that Bobby went, ah, yes,
I know.
Spader, you, come with me. And then
But
it was,
like he needed a warrior.
ah, yes, come.
And he went for
Goody.
Lore, who's still waiting for her turning point. Well, he could have gotten Alder.
I think he also
Yeah.
just trusts Lore more than he trusts Alder.
I mean,
to be
yeah.
fair.
Also, Alder doesn't have boobs. I mean,
That's
he
also
he
true.
might like have like Vin Diesel man boobs, but it's just not the same.
Nope.
I think there was one point when he first saw Lore, or like Lore first started helping them, where Bobby said, I could have kissed her like twice in 2 paragraphs. And I was
know!
but
Stop it.
Courtney,
Like, you know your girlfriend's watching this, right? Your best friend who you can assume is kissing no one. Like, hey, here are all the hot chicks who like me.
no,
Bobby's kind of a tool.
The line where Courtney was like, if Bobby can crush on someone from another territory, I can crush on Frank, who sits 2 seats away from me in a class called English.
Okay, I did like that line.
Passive-aggressive crushing on people.
Also, to be fair, she is weirdly attached to Bobby, considering they had 1 kiss and 0 dates. Like,
I think that it has to do with the, like, romance of, he got taken away from me and we'll never know what we had.
what could have been.
Yeah, that's what's
Yeah.
holding her on there. I don't really think it's anything to do with Bobby. I mean, apparently they were friends before, but I don't know.
They were
I don't know.
rivals. Whatever
Enemies
that
turned loves.
They were
It's very
frenemies.
tropey.
At one point, Michaela says that she had to beat him in everything to hide her crush on him. And I was like,
There are way easier ways.
yeah, because when a girl throws sand at you, that means she really likes you.
If I've learned anything from Peanuts, it's that. And Hey Arnold. Like, gosh, didn't you grow up in the same
Helga.
decade as me? Poor Helga.
I love Helga.
She's very, very creepy, though. Like,
Oh,
looking back on
absolutely.
that, so creepy.
Yeah.
I don't even know what we were talking about in the first place. I honestly don't.
Courtney being
How
uncomfortably
it's kind of
attached to
silly.
Bobby.
Oh, yeah, and how it's kind of silly that they only use travelers when it's plot appropriate.
Oh, yeah. That's Lore Ex Machina. That's
Mhm.
Has Laura been on every single territory except for First Earth? She didn't show up on First Earth.
Has she been on Chloral?
Wait.
Yes.
When was she on Chloral?
I thought she... Maybe she wasn't.
No,
she showed up.
he
No,
is-
she showed up. She showed up on Second Earth at the end of that book.
I was gonna
She
say
wasn't on-
she
she
was on
wasn't
Second
on-
Earth.
She
Yeah.
wouldn't. She wouldn't want to go to Chloral. She can't swim. We found that out.
Oh, yeah. That would be a horrible, because the flume just goes right over like this giant pool.
And then she immediately
Or
dies.
goes to save Bobby and then drowns. That would be so awful, but hilarious. Thank God she never decided to, like, go look for him. Oh. I feel like swimming would have been a skill that her mom should have taught her, maybe.
I just love
I'm
how
gone
Bobby's
again.
like, no, you're not. Michaela is.
Oh, okay.
Because I was just going to say, I love how Bobby's like, I can rappel and scuba and do all these things. And Laura's just like, I can't swim.
It's like, come on. Okay, maybe there's not a lot of water, but there's that whole underground river. Sneak in there and have the baby paddle around. Like, I don't know. There were options. But this way we had dramatic tension. Ooh.
I think it literally just struck me as a device to say, here's the one instance when Laura needs Bobby and Bobby doesn't need Laura.
Oh, absolutely. That's all it is. Because Bobby keeps trying to push that he's smarter than Laura. It's like, no one's buying that, Bobby. Yeah, you're the brains and she's the brawn. It's like, no, you're the weenie and she's the superhero. Like, let's be real.
It's true.
You have the ability to swim and that's about it. And the fact that I thought of a thing that annoys me. I hate narratives. They're okay sometimes. I think I'm gone again.
No, hello. Wait, what did you say?
I was saying I hate chosen one narratives where everyone's just like, Bobby, I get the feeling that you're the leader because people keep saying so. At least Harry had a prophecy. Even that was kind of annoying. But, like, it's just like, I hate when someone is just declared the most important for no good reason.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely, I think I brought that up in, like,
yeah, I'm sure you
the
did.
second video. Because, like, oh, God, it's so annoying. And, I mean, it might, something is telling me that there's a reason. There's, like, that's kind of explained at some point in the later books, and Michaela could tell us if she was living.
Here, yeah.
But
I think the only time...
It's just annoying.
The only time I've ever enjoyed it was in Lord of the Rings, because the reason Frodo, right? Yeah. Frodo was special was because it was like, Gandalf was like, you're too useless. If you turn evil, you'll just turn into another golem. Like, if I carry the ring, the world will explode. Like, that, I like that. I like when the only reason you're the chosen one is because you're useless. This whole, like, I don't know. It bugs me.
Michaela just dropped out of the call.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, It is.
Well,
we have a slight amount of time before we stop being live. What haven't we talked about? We just haven't talked about what annoyed us, but like,
I mean,
so,
is there anything else?
So wait, who was your favorite character then in this book?
Oh God. You know, I really enjoyed this book. I didn't really like anyone in it. I guess I would go with Aja, just because I kind of related to sticking all of your ego on things you can do because you don't really have a sense of intrinsic self-worth. Like, deep. Redemptive character arcs in general. I like that transformation of learning to be humble. Plus, she's blonde, which I'm not actually blonde anymore, but still. I related. She has glasses, because all smart people have glasses.
She's just so annoying. I can't.
Yeah.
I tried so hard.
She's annoying on purpose, though. Wait, you didn't like her when she started being less of a bitch?
I did like her, but by that point, like, unless the redemptive arc is done really, really well, when I don't like characters, it's not that I'm, like, not willing to.
Welcome back, Michaela.
Welcome back.
My back?
Not that you're not willing.
Yes.
Hi.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
I was talking about why I like Aja and Gretchen hates her and was talking about why.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that, like, I'm willing to go through a redemptive arc with a character, and I also really enjoy them, but I get really snobby about it, and I'm like, listen, if you don't do this really well, I just stop caring. Like, I literally, there were some times when Aja would be speaking that I would just start flipping the page because I was just like, you've annoyed me so badly, and you're still, like, I don't know, and she was also the font of a lot of the technical babble as well. So for me, I was just like, there's 2 strikes against you, and I'm just done. So.
That's fair. No, I can see that. It didn't bug me, but I can see why it would. I did think her whole crush on Bobby was stupid. Michaela's trying to make like a love rectangle, and I'm not feeling it.
No.
Everything with the vagina loves Bobby.
I don't think she ever comes back again, honestly.
Okay.
Gretchen,
that makes the end kind of sad, because she's like, give me another chance to fight Saint Dane, and I guess Bobby's like, nope.
I don't think so.
I mean, I honestly just tried to delete her from my brain. Like, this in book 5, I was just like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. I don't think the Traveler from Elon goes anywhere either, but that one's slightly more understandable. She's a giant
cat.
Yeah. That's harder to blend in with the rest of people.
Go to a furry convention.
That's about it. That's all you got.
Yeah, let's hope St. Dane's planning evil at Comic-Con.
Oh, wait. She does come back.
Or on Halloween, huh?
On which territory?
She comes back in Pilgrims of Rain.
Oh.
Because they visit Velox.
But then she didn't leave. They just go there again.
You mean Elong? These names, my God, these names are stupid.
Elong is the jungle planet. Velox is the virtual reality.
Yeah.
V for virtual reality.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now that makes Aja's end kind of sad, because like I was telling her is that she sort of uses like her intelligence and like superiority like.
Oh no, because she also appears at the end of Raven Rise. Sorry, I tuned out for a hot
Are we talking about the cat lady still?
No, I can check on her though.
She probably just.
I hope Aja comes back. Like she fails, and she defines herself so much by her failures.
She does not come back for any sort of meaningful territory thing. All of them come back at the end, like everybody.
It's just like I want her chance to feel less like a miserable failure.
No, either Bobby says you need to be here to try and pull things together if possible, or he doesn't trust her enough to bring her somewhere else. So there's that.
Wow.
Also, hey, wait a minute, hang on.
She gets shafted.
The two male travelers from the first couple of territories get to come along, but once we hit the girls, except for Lore, nobody gets to come.
Bobby can't be the smart one if he brings her either. Like, he can't be the brains if somebody else clearly smarter than him is there as well.
Yeah.
What does he have to bring? He could just be like, you and you, go do
skills.
Still
inexplicably being the chosen one for no good reason.
I don't even know. We have no reason to believe that he is the chosen one, other than that
everyone
he's the
keeps telling him that.
I know,
everyone tells him that.
He honestly said, "Wait, I'm the leader." Who said that? I don't know what other people see in him. I don't know. Unless it was Uncle Press saying that.
At least Bobby agrees, though.
Yeah,
I think Press kind of went around being like, "Hey, my
nephew,
who's not actually related to me, is coming, and he's gonna be awesome." Like, I think it was a lot of skillful maneuvering on Press's part to make because he looked at Bobby and went, "Oh shit, this is I gotta go talk him up." No one's gonna pay any attention to him.
That's why I love book 6 so much. We'll get there, and it'll just. Yep.
We have to get through 5. We have to get through 5.
I don't want to get through 5.
No. I'm like 50 pages into 5, and I'm not feeling it.
No.
Maybe it gets better.
I mean, it is the middle book. It's gotta Gotta go kind of like this.
Why do series do that every single time? Excepting maybe Harry Potter. I feel like Harry Potter went like...
Yeah, I don't know.
A lot of people
fight
like
you
the
on
last
that,
book.
but okay.
It's difficult
what?
to write consistently.
That's fair.
And also, I mean, the thing about the middle of series, especially like, this is especially hard to do in trilogies when like it's not the cool beginning, but it's not like the really big ending. It's kind of just like filler in a way that kind of has to have.
It's rising action. Nobody likes rising action. Fuck that shit.
It's the stuff you had to write because your editor or agent wanted you to do a trilogy because trilogies are really popular.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, especially because I mean, this series is 10 books, and so you get to have like the whole first bit, and which is like, oh, we're winning, and then they lose for the first time, and then that's spectacular, and then you kind of, I think Bobby as a character kind of has to flounder in the middle, and I mean that doesn't excuse the books, but before he can shoot off and save the day, you can't have 5 books of him saving the day. Or, after that one loss. I guess it would be 6 books. But
I don't know. I'm interested to see how long the parade of Bobby sucking will last. Like, how many territories fall down before he just gives up and says, well, I'm going to Vegas. It was nice while it lasted.
There's a lot of things with this territory falling that sort of sets up stuff at the end that's really important. So
poor Michaela has to just like sit on all her opinions, like just wait.
I know
all of the things that Mark is saying at the end of this book made me cry.
No, Michaela.
Oh, lost her. Maybe she'll come back.
I just have such a thing because like I know that I like remember the end of it. But I'm such a stickler for just asking books to stand on their own. Like, there has to be a reason for me to keep reading,
That's fair.
Like,
the standing on its own gets annoying with this series and all series everywhere. What is it about children's series where they have to explain everything that happened in the previous books in case this is the first one kids pick up? Like, maybe I was just a really smart child, but if I saw book 4, I'm not going to just start reading it and expect to know what's going on.
I don't know.
It's really annoying.
I honestly don't know.
It's especially hilarious in this one because it's like Bobby being like, so here's what happened. Mark and Courtney already know.
I think it must have been the Never War where it was Mark and Courtney who got to do the whole.
Oh, she's gone.
Oh, bye-bye, Michaela. We loved you.
Michaela's internet sucks. That's why she keeps leaving.
Yeah.
People who are wondering. Anyway, you were saying?
Oh, no. I mean, I think because we talked about it and how, like, for one of them at least, it was Mark and Courtney going, and here's where the just happened. And I was like, it makes so much more sense for them to be saying it.
You're right. I think that was book 3. I don't remember. I blocked book 3 out. It was stupid.
I'm just like, I'm ready because, like, from 6 on, they're pretty solid.
Okay.
Yeah. 5 is like, well, 6 is also, yeah. 6 is also Laura's book. That's the Da.
Okay.
And after that, like, from 6 on, like I was saying, then he really is able to start putting more pieces together to build up to the end. Whereas these have kind of just been like Michaela keeps saying, like, you don't. There are things that will be put together, but you don't see that yet.
Mm-hmm. Right now, they're just really episodic.
Yeah, and I mean, when I say they need to stand on their own, I don't mean that they should be episodic. I mean that I shouldn't need Michaela to say, well, wait, this won't be confusing later.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm the kind of reader that will be like, listen, I don't, you know, like if there's a big glaring hole in the wall, I'm not going to say, all right, let's just keep going, you know?
Yeah, especially because I feel like there's a certain amount of trust that you have to have in a creator to be able to say, okay. Because, like, with some crappy authors, that hole is just a plot hole they're hoping you ignore.
Mm-hmm.
And then with others, it's deliberate. I think Michaela's earned my trust. It's kind of hard to tell. This whole flume thing still seems kind of silly. I don't know.
I mean, I know that, I literally just kept reading these because I was like, they hold my interest and whatever. And they're big books.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I'm solid with it. But I don't know. Like, I feel like every single episode Michaela's had to say, it'll make sense later when we discuss something, and that's just kind of meh.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. It's like, do we have to? All right, it better amazing way is all I'm saying, because we've had to put up with a lot of crap that doesn't. Welcome back, Michaela.
That time it was my internet, not my computer.
Ugh, honey, you poor thing.
I am going to have to look into what's happening with my computer because we were having issues yesterday and now we're having issues today. I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate.
Did I cut out mid-sentence? Because I feel like I cut out mid-sentence.
You did.
I was just saying how everything that Mark was saying in this thing, I didn't realize that he was saying things like this so early in the series because I knew that he was unhappy with his life, but to the point where he was, like, looking for any way to do something to help Bobby this early. Like, crazy. Crazy.
Okay. I just flipped through the end to try to see what Mark was saying, and I don't really notice, but I did notice that Saint's at the end. He just shows up and he cackles, like the word cackle is used.
He cackles and lights on fire.
Saint Dane. Yes! It's hilarious! Also, how were these never made into a video game? I said that about Angel Fall, too. I mean, I didn't say it because I wasn't there, but I said it, like, to Michaela at some point. And these will make a great video game, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
Do we have anything else that we want to talk about?
Not really.
I'm pretty good.
Okay. Next week, clearly, we're going to be looking at book number 5, which is, I don't even know.
Blackwater?
Yes, Blackwater. Thank you.
It's the one with cats. If you like cats, then it'll be great. Yeah.
Hey, camera, if you want to focus, that'd be... Thank you. Blackwater, Pendragon.
It'll be... It could be the best ever, but...
It will be an entertaining hangout at the very least, because if we all don't like it, then we will be entertaining.
Yeah.
We have proven that after 3 seasons of Bibliomancy for Beginners.
Oh, yeah. When we dislike something, more interesting discussion can be had. Okay. That's what's happening next week. 2 weeks from now, we'll be talking about the 6th book, which is The Rivers of Zada, but we will also be talking about Skin Trade by Laura K. Hamilton, which is an Anita Blake book for the Normal Book Club, which is our last book for the season. So you should join us for that. And I made a video wherein I introduced people to the world, because that book is book number 17 in a series rather than... You don't have to read all of the former ones. It stands alone on its own plot-wise, but if you want a primer on the world and the characters, I made a video discussing everything that happens through books number 1 through 16. Clearly, that will spoil you on books numbers 1 through 16. But if you want to join us for 17, there you go.
That or read all 16 in the next 2 weeks.
Not going to make you try and do that. Like, it took me like 2 years to get through these books. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yes. So if people want to find our book club on the internet, at Bibliomancy 101 on Twitter or Bibliomancy for Beginners everywhere else. If you want to find us individually, people are going to shout out their social media right now for you. Gretchen. Or not?
Or not.
Casey.
So, screw Gretchen. I am at thedrunklibrarian.wordpress.com, and that is it. Can't find me anywhere else.
It's true. I'm
and she's gone. ADK
That's
Writer 15.
everywhere. ADK
Everywhere.
Writer 15, literally.
My Life as a Notebook on Facebook.
Yep.
I don't remember the rest. Yeah.
She's on Goodreads as Gretchen Homeyer, which is her name.
And she actually does things on Goodreads. Technically, I'm on Goodreads too, but I don't do anything.
I do too. You should do stuff on Goodreads, Casey. It's fun.
But I'm lazy.
I use it mostly to just keep a track of what I've read for the year and like whether I'm enjoying books mostly or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am Pied Piper Calls everywhere on the internet except for my blog, which is the Pied Piper Calls. .wordpress.com, where I talk about comics and K-pop and books. So yeah.
And I just was to bring my puppy over to say goodbye, and he bit me. Now I'm sad. But puppy. Anyway, I deserved it. I was being a jerk. Anyway.
Yes. All right. I guess we'll go.
All right.
You know
See
where
you
to
next
find
week.
Gretchen, even though she
ran away.
She's gone. Bye, guys.
Bye.